today's video, I'm going to be using the Revlon Colorsilk, beautiful colour, in the Medium Golden Chestnut Brown to try and cover my roots. If that's something that interests you, then please keep watching. Welcome back to Self-Care Karen. It is lovely to have you here. The light is a little bit intense at the moment, but I do want to film this now, partly because there is some light. I don't want to film this in darkness, partly because this is when I've got to do the colouring of my hair, but also I'm going out for dinner tonight and I really want to wash my hair and disguise the greys. So yeah, that is what this video is going to be. It's going to be me applying the Revlon Colorsilk. I'm really excited to use this hair dye, and I will be showing you the various stages of the application, and I'll even come back a couple of days later just so that you can see how the colour has set. If you are a stranger to my channel, thank you for coming along, and if you're not a stranger, thank you for returning. I really appreciate it. Here on Self-Care Karen, I do lots of beauty product reviews, a lot of stuff on hair care. I've got perimenopausal hair, I've got grey roots, over processed because I dye my hair so often. So yeah, thank you for coming across this video and watching it. I do appreciate it. Off YouTube, I have a website. I sell products and services related to empowering busy women with their self-care. There is a link to that website in the video description. There's also a link to the sign up for my mailing list. If you sign up to my mailing list, I give you 3 welcome gifts. Don't bombard you with emails. I send 2 a month, and yeah, that's a really great way if you want to get discounts and sort of special announcements about what I do. Then it's great to sign up to my mailing list. This video is not sponsored. However, I am an Amazon associate, which means I may earn from qualifying purchases. What that means is that where I have an affiliate link for Amazon, I'll put it in the video description. And if you use that link and make a purchase, then I might get a small commission, and I use that money to reinvest here to keep providing you content here on YouTube. So if you use my links, thank you so much, but obviously you're not beholden to do any of that. All right, so as I said, I'm really excited to try out the Revlon Colorsilk. This box says it's #1 in the USA. I got this on Amazon. To be honest with you, I've not actually seen this in the shops, so it might be one of those hair dyes that I only ever find on Amazon, and there are quite a few actually that way, and I've done videos through the years. Today is the 20th of March, and I last dyed my hair on the 28th of February, and I used the Garnier Color Sensation Color Retouch. And I've actually got 2 videos now of me reviewing that product, but I'll put the latest one here. I did have a bit of an accident in that video, and I managed to get hair dye everywhere in my bathroom. I really hope that doesn't happen today. I am extremely tired. I slept very badly last night. I tell you, the perimenopause, it can just do one now. I'm over it. Hot flashes, anxiety, insomnia. Oh my God, it can go away. Anyway, what I wanted to tell you though, with the Garnier Color Sensation Color Retouch, which really is just to cover the roots, I found that the colour faded really fast. It was very disappointing. So not only did I dye my bathroom, but also it didn't really work so much on my hair. And I do apologise. I feel like I say this every video. I don't know how visible my greys are coming out on the screen, but wherever there's a shimmer, so you see here, all that bit that's kind of a lighter colour, that's all grey, okay? And then inside, like not just on my parting line, I've definitely got lots of greys, and they're quite long now, so I'm looking to actually do the full head of hair with this. So let's have a look at what this says. It says it delivers natural looking, long lasting colour and shine, leaves hair in better condition. It's the Revlon 3D Color Gel technology, a combination of pigments, conditioners and polymers that provide natural looking and multi-dimensional results. Ammonia-free permanent color now with keratin. Our formula is enriched with a blend of keratin and silk amino acid. The hair looks silky, healthy, shiny and in better condition than before you colored. Ultra hydrating creamy conditioner, highly nourishes hair after colour application, providing optimal shine and care. 100% grey, spelt the American way, coverage. All right, so let's see what's inside the box. I've gone for kind of a warmer colour, so medium golden chestnut brown. Not sure if that's the right choice, but I do have to be careful not to always go for dark brown because then my hair ends up way too dark. And I like to have a little bit of warmth in it, but then again, I don't want it to be red. So it's kind of like this fine balancing act. All right, so what have we got? We have got a cream colour developer bottle with a nozzle. We have got the ammonia-free colorant. And we have got a sachet, which I'm going to cut open before I use it for the after colour conditioner. Okay, so I guess that's just one use. Let's have a look at the instructions, which I can already feel that the gloves, the massive gloves, are stuck on. And whoa, I probably won't use these gloves. I'll probably use ones that I've got that are skin tight ones because we'll see how I go. But it's very annoying they're always so big. I guess I've got a case of all size of hands. Okay, the instructions look fairly, easy to follow. What does it say? Step 1, obviously always do a patch test. Don't do what I do, do what I say. What the box tells you. You've got to mix the colour, so snip off the... First, you've got to snip off the top. Okay, snip off the top, put the colourant in, shake with your finger on top. Oh my God, please let my finger stay in place because I don't want to spray this bathroom anymore with hair dye. Okay, caution, never leave the cap on the cream developer. Bottle after mixing, the container may burst. That is always a scare. Okay, so there's 2 forms to apply. You can do option A, which is full head application, which is what I'm going to do. And you've got option B, which is the touch-up application, which I'm not going to do this time. For the full head, it says 25 minutes, or if you've got resistant grey or lifting a dark hair base, then leave on for 35 minutes total. For the following shades, blonde, and 82B, no, 46, this doesn't apply, but if you're going lighter, it's 45 minutes in total. All right, so it says part your hair, la la la. Okay, so I never section it. I just go in and I have a way as I work around the hair. Don't rub the mixture into the scalp. Repeat on 3 minutes. Comb or gently work remaining mixture through the rest of your hair. Leave on for 25 minutes, but I'm going to leave on 35 because I've got resistant greys. And then add a little warm water and sort of emulsify, fine. Wearing your gloves, that won't happen. And then rinse hair thoroughly with warm water until the water unclears. And it doesn't say to use shampoo. I wish they would either say do not use shampoo or please use shampoo, because it's not always clear to me. And I do find sometimes if I don't use the shampoo, my hair is violently disgusting. But I will follow the instructions. I'll be a good girl and not use shampoo. Although I will just say a small proviso there. If I find that as I'm washing it out, my hair feels disgusting, I will use some shampoo. Okay, so there. All right. Okay, well, I'm gonna make a start. So I'm gonna mix up this solution. Let me snip off the top, and then we'll get applying. So I normally apply, I take my clothes off and I get naked. No, and I have a special bra and a dressing gown that I wear for when I'm dyeing my hair. But I'm gonna risk it for a biscuit today. I've got black on, so hopefully it will be okay. This isn't my Sunday best or anything, and I'm just feeling a tad lazy. It's been a hell of a week. Right, I'm just mixing this up with my finger on the top. Hopefully not spraying it everywhere. Yeah, the gloves, you can see they're a bit big, but anyway, I shall persevere and then see if it annoys me too much and then switch over to... I've got surgical type gloves, if you like. I don't know if they're actually surgical gloves, but they're blue. Maybe they are. I got those off Amazon as well. And they work a treat. All right, so I was going to use that. I've got a brush that I had lying around. I was going to use that, but actually I think because the nozzle is like this, I think actually it's just easier to go in straight away. God, it's quite liquid, I would say. Sort of more liquidy than what I've used recently. Yeah, so I'm gonna start off in the areas where I got the most visible greys, and you know, I've been feeling like my greys have been showing for ages, and I've been using the sprays, the temporary root sprays. I've actually got a video, I'll share a video where I compare 3 different root sprays, but whilst they're really good for like a temporary measure if you're in a bind, I don't like using them all the time because they do leave a residue, and I do find that with my roots being greasy as they are, it doesn't help the situation. I mean, as it is, I wash my hair every other day, but it just kind of, makes it gonky. So I'm not, oh my God, I'm getting dye everywhere. Okay, this is, oh my God, it's coming out of the bottle. Oh, that's so annoying. That is so annoying. Okay, right, well, I'm going to carry on. I'm going to apply it all over. See what I can do about my top and save my top. Although, as I said, it's not like it's just a top I wear around the house to keep me warm. So I'm not that bothered by it. Yeah, and I'm just going to make sure that I've got the dye over everywhere. Then I'll put the timer on. And yeah, and then I'll wash it out. I'll keep on coming back to you, giving you updates. So yeah, see you in a bit. All right, so a couple of comments. If I find that I've got hair dye on my brand new bath mat, I will scream. Secondly, I have succumbed to wearing my dressing gown because I got hair dye all over my top. That's now in the washing machine. And as soon as I'm done, I'll put the dressing gown in and run the cycle, hopefully get the worst of the damage out. It is very liquid. However, there is a lot of product, so I have easily done my full head of hair. So if you were just doing a touch-up, more than enough. If you were doing a full head of hair and you've got a similar length, volume of hair as me, you'd be fine. If you've obviously got longer, thicker hair, then you probably need 2 packets. And I think that's why they often do discounts on 2 packets, because they know that a lot of people need, you know, lots of outlets just make it cheaper when you buy multiples. But I mean, I don't know, that's just a theory I've come up with. So I'm using a baby wipe just to get off the worst of my skin. Because I've got a lot of baby hairs that are grey, I come down really quite far on my hairline just to make sure I sort of get all of them, as many of them as possible. I've put the timer on and there isn't a very strong smell. It's okay. Don't really feel any kind of itchiness tingling on my head, which is always a good sign. And yeah, I will come back to you once I have washed off the dye. Holy Mary, Mother of God, my head feels like it is on fire now. Almost just as soon as I said there's no tingling started. I wonder. All right, so I've washed out the dye. I put the conditioner on for 2 minutes. It took quite a lot to wash the conditioner out, but it did feel very softening. I put my hair in a microfiber turban, which I always do. I've got this dark colour for when I dye my hair, just so that if there's any dye left, it doesn't go on something light, it goes on something dark. And like I always do, I'm going to apply some leave-in conditioner. This is the John Frieda Frizzy's Miraculous Recovery with Ceramides Daily Miracle Leave-In Conditioner. Long name. Really like this, actually. This is really affordable if you compare it to, you know, the iconic Pureology, which I do love. I'm not saying I don't, but it's good to have alternatives, right? And also the Redken One United I quite like as well, but they're more pricey than this alternative. So something you might want to consider. And I always put in a leave-in conditioner so that I get, got some knots, so that I get slippage. Now I do find that when I wash and also when I dye my hair, I get quite a lot of hair coming out. Sometimes I get some tangles and knots because the hair that was going to fall is kind of enticed to fall even more by the process of the dyeing, I find. Okay, so very hard to tell about the colour because my hair's still wet. So I'll definitely come back with it dry in a day or 2 so you can see how it's settled after I've washed it out. It might even be longer because I find it really difficult to film in the week, so we'll see how I go. But for now, first impressions, it does feel a bit red, but we'll see how it dries out. I'm glad that I haven't gone like any darker, because you know, it's kind of like I said, oh, I've got hair. It's like a balancing act. I really, you know, with going too dark, almost to black, and then going too red. So, you know, I sort of play around a little bit with that. Sometimes I have stripy hair as a result. But you know what? I still prefer the control of doing it myself. The salon is it's just so complicated. Like, you've got to get the appointment, you've got to have the time in your day to do it. You can't just quickly sort something out at home. So I much prefer dyeing at home. I also am not I love having beauty treatments like facials and massages, but having my hair done is not one of the joys of my life. So I just prefer to do it at home, and I have done since I started. Wow, since 2015, when I started sort of my fertility journey, because it was one thing just to really easily save a lot of money, which I could then put towards the very pricey fertility treatments. Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent again, but anyway, I just wanted to let you know that's the reason that that's my story, and I'm sticking to it for why I dye my hair at home. It just gives me so much more freedom and independence, which I really appreciate. Right, okay, I'll be back in a few days, let you know how I feel with the end results, with the colour settling, and yeah, see you in a bit.
3,000 years later.
So, as I suspected, this is actually a week and a day later from when I dyed my hair. It's been a crazy week, and I did have plans to film yesterday, but I was absolutely exhausted, so I prioritised rest. Okay, final thoughts. I feel like the colour is a bit too red. My bad. I don't think it's, you know, I just chose the wrong colour. Probably shouldn't have gone for something that had golden written in it. So I do feel like this bit is kind of redder than the rest of my hair, which is darker brown. It hasn't faded from what I can gather. It's still there. So I've washed my hair 3 times since I showed you the results from dyeing. So from that count, I think it's good. It's not a fading dye, which is great. I do recall though that the solution was very liquid. I haven't looked at the top that I got loads of dye on. I don't know if that's been stained forever. I washed it immediately after. I think actually I've worn it and not noticed, so maybe it's all right. Maybe I've dodged a bullet this time. But yeah, just if you're going to use this, just make sure that you're aware it's very liquid. So you need to have you and anything that might come in contact with the dye covered so you don't get stains. It's not my favourite dye that I've used recently. I have mentioned this already, but the Schwarzkopf Palette Deluxe, love that dye, if you can love a dye. Also, let me just think, what else have I used recently that I prefer over it? I think Revlon have got one called Longwear Colour something or other, Colour Stay, I think it is, and I prefer that to this one as well. That was a really good one, and I do have a video, I'll link that video here of that one too. So yeah, it's not up there. I'm not sure why it's the bestseller in the US. Tell me, let me know in the comments why you think it might be. But just remember, I've got lots and lots of videos of me trying out loads of different hair dyes. So if you want to kind of binge watch, or you're interested in a particular dye, the chances are I have tried it out. So take a look at my channel, and I'll link the playlist here to the playlist I've got specifically for dyeing hair. Thank you very, very much for watching. It's been lovely having you here. And remember, you are in perfect time. See you soon.